What up, people?
Welcome back.
I got a question to ask. Do you think that 100,000 a year is broke?
See, I wouldn't say so, but apparently some people think so, and then the people that are making that also say that it's not enough.
You know it is broke. 30,000. That's broke.
And what's broke is going out spending left and right just because you're making more money. That's
Right.
never smart.
Truly, I feel like it all comes from honestly 30,000 not even broke. It's the means of living compared to the amount you're making.
Yeah.
So we'll get into that later. Let's get into this video and yeah.
Yep.
Got you.
These people will tell you, no, you should not spend like that.
Nope.
50% of millennials who make $100,000 or more are living paycheck to paycheck. I don't feel bad for them. They want to have a Rolex. They want to drive a nice car. I get it. But they don't. It's called lifestyle creep. The more money you make, the more you feel like, well, I deserve to have a nicer car. I'm working hard. I deserve to move into a nicer area. I deserve to go on vacation to Mykonos this summer. All my friends are going to Ibiza. So, but is that the real? Make the right decision.
The funny thing about that is too, my mom don't make that much. She's still taking vacations. She's kind of broke now.
The only vacation that I've taken on my own is my honeymoon.
We have never been anywhere else.
Because any other time it's a staycation.
Yeah, and that one was legit. When we were on our honeymoon, we went down there, we came right back. No reason to pitch all that money for no reason.
Yeah, but we're not travel people.
We're not.
If you are a travel person, you can travel very cheap with like rewards points from your credit card. And like there's a lot of coupons and all of that. So you can get some really cheap stuff.
Yeah. Anyway, lifestyle creep. I really still hate that term. It's
It'll
just
creep up on you.
creeping, bro. You're just not. Just call it what it is. Not smart with your money.
Yeah. You need a term for everything, though.
Yeah. Because I'm gonna be real, bro. Even though I was a millionaire, I'm not buying a Rolex. I don't wear watches. My wrists are really fragile.
They're bare. They're not iced out. If it's icy, it's with ashiness.
If it's icy, I've been stuck in the snow and I died. I froze to death. But no, that's actually pretty true. I'm very ashy. But like a new car, just get a car that you like. Maybe you can make it look nice. You can get a used car and make it look nice. You got the money.
Because I feel like people are out here like, I can afford more. Well, can you really afford more? Probably not. But they will say that, and they just want people to think that they're rich and all of that. So they go out and buy the new car. Oh, not be caught dead in a used car. And if you get one in good condition, nobody will know that it's used unless you tell them.
For real, there's so many BMWs out there probably used, and people just act like they're new.
Yeah, it's no point in trying to please people. They don't care, and they're not going to pay your debt in the end.
No. So the reason, if you're making a lot of money and you're still broke living paycheck to paycheck, you either got a lot of debt, or two, you're just not spending the money financially correct.
Yeah, and nobody is going to help you out when you are in lifestyle creep and you don't have money for anything else.
Yeah, this is not like you. It's not like you're like bad down on your luck. You're your own fault.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I totally agree with that.
Yeah, I keep saying, even if I'm a millionaire, I'm not spending nothing. The only upgrade will be just getting in a paid off house that is modest. And the rest is going into investments and donations. That's it.
You already know what I'm getting. A house and maybe a gang PC or console or something. That's about it.
Yeah. House, whatever else I need to invest and like flourish my business.
One hobby, one house, business investments. That's what it should be.
And that's it. Smarter decisions.
Here's how traditional banks treat you when you have $100,000 or more in your bank account. Basically, you become a top-tier client to those banks. They're going to treat you with a little bit more respect and top-tier service. You might get a direct phone number to a private banker. Maybe you'll qualify for new loans, special loans. You're going to be able to get more fees waived on all of your accounts. Just a little bit more white glove service is what we call it. They're going to think of you as a top-tier client, giving you a little bit extra special attention or special benefits.
That's crazy. That's the craziest part too, because you kind of look in the news sometimes, like maybe like pop culture, celebrity news. It'd be people who have money who be not paying off their debts.
Yeah, exactly. That would be the first thing that I would do. Like, the debt is gone.
So I don't know why these banks be like, oh, you have money, you don't have to pay us your debts, you don't have to pay us your fees. Oh, you don't have any money, give us everything you have. It's like, does that make sense to you? No, that's stupid.
And I like how the people in the comments are saying that this is not even true. But this is probably also contributing to the problem because you qualify for more loans. So you're like, oh, well, I got to invest whatever I have, but then you don't research it. And then you go just call everything an investment, put it wherever, and then you are stuck with debt. And then when you lose that salary, then what do you have?
Nothing
But debt.
Yeah. Now here's the one thing that I do want from a bank for having a lot of money: a metal card. That's it. A metal card. That's all I want. I know it's cool to me.
Status.
It's not status. It's a metal card. I just like metal. That's it.
It makes no sense. Nobody needs that either.
It doesn't cost me extra. It's just a metal card. That's all I want.
You don't need a metal card. You don't need any of this mess. That seems cool. Trust me.
Just for you not to use it.
Yeah, like, what's the point?
It's gonna catch rust before I use it.
It's just gonna be sitting around. And that's how some of y'all be getting into the bad habits too, because you get like this credit line increase in these new cards, and you like don't have a limit apparently, unlike the rich people.
Nope.
Black card, is it?
They have black card.
Yeah.
It's not the metal card.
I don't.
Oh, it's a different. I think this is a different metal card.
I have no idea.
I'm pretty sure you can only get certain colors if you're rich.
Bruh. I would be hiding that card with my life because I'm not getting robbed.
Oh no, yeah. If someone steals my metal card, I might as well just end it now because they're gonna take me for everything I own.
Online purchases only. Thank you. Not in the store. No.
Anyway.
100K a year is not enough money if you're a woman. And here's why. All of the unexpecteds. There's a lawsuit, somebody gets sick in your family, there's a divorce, somebody loses a job, you're wiped out. There's no abundance. There's no plan. If you want to protect yourself and your family, you have to have reserves, you have to have abundance, and that's more than $100,000 a year. You should have a little bit of savings, 10 grand, 20 grand, 100 grand. More than savings, I would be putting the money into an income producing asset and being able to depend on myself for earned income.
What's that got to do with being a woman?
I don't know. I would feel that like that goes to everyone.
This is a very broad subject. I feel like she's like one of those gurus.
Probably.
What is that statue in the background? How much was that?
Too much.
I'm gonna ask you that question.
That's why 100K isn't enough.
What is that stairwell, bro?
Like, bro.
This better be office.
If you were gonna say like woman, I would have been like, I don't know, like OBGYN costs, pregnancy.
I legit thought she was going to go into like legit women specific issues, but then she proceeded to name this gender neutral broad issues that everyone faces.
Yeah. Maybe is this like a clip to a larger video? Maybe.
I sure hope so, because this was really weird to start off as woman. I feel like it's like woman baiting, you know?
Yeah.
Like you make pink boxing gloves and make it cost more.
Oh my gosh, please. Do we need to do a video on the pink sauce lady and all that?
We need to do a video on the gender sold stuff, because we need to talk about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But lawsuit, huh?
Like what lawsuit are women getting into that? Actually, never mind. What else are lawsuits that women are getting into? Have you ever heard of the husband who sued his wife for wearing makeup too much and it gave him a false advertisement of how she looked?
I was gonna say child support or something.
See, that's a gender neutral like
Yeah, I don't get it.
lawsuit.
You don't know.
Who knows?
$100,000 is no longer enough to feel financially secure in many parts of the country. Great. Cost of living has soared, inflation is rising at a terrifying rate, and wages, of course, are not. And data actually shows that earning $100,000 in a high cost of living city like New York or San Francisco only equates to $35,000 of purchasing power after you adjust for cost of living and taxes. In slightly less expensive cities like DC or LA, this only increases to $45,000. If you make $100,000, you probably can afford to save some money for retirement and cover your basic necessities, have a little fun here and there. But apparently, now we all need to strive for $300,000 to be able to afford the same cushy lifestyle that $100,000 used to buy.
Don't you me. You see the error here. I'm not trying to be mean or nothing. But you see the error here when they say, oh, this costs nothing now. If you don't get yourself into a suburb, a town over, so you can traverse to LA or New York or DC, it'll be cheaper. I think that's always the issue. Yeah, money is more. A lot of money don't go as far as it used to. But if you do not get out of that area, you know,
I would not be in these areas. I know like some people are stuck there because of work or whatever, but there's still ways around it. You can go for something cheaper even if you're in New York. Like Rochester is like supposedly cheaper than most of the other places there, and you have something to work with. So I would just start with cutting things out of your budget and looking at what you don't need.
Yeah.
Because there's just no reason to just be spending left and right just because you have a high salary. And a lot of people think of all of this income as like what they want. So they just go out and purchase whatever it is that they want and say they don't have enough money for those things. But the truth is they most likely have enough money for their necessities, which is the important thing here.
Yeah. I'll say this, like $100,000 down here where we live at, that can get us one of the really good houses. I wouldn't get it. You give us really one of the really good houses within like a year or 2 years tops. Not tops, but you know.
100,000?
A year?
Oh, well, I mean, like, yeah, on a mortgage.
A mortgage, yeah. But if you want to buy it out, you'd probably be sitting here for like 5 years at best. Oh, yeah. But still, it's legit based on where you're at most of the time. And it's 100,000 is still kind of upper middle class if you think about it.
It is.
So I don't hear it.
Yeah.
I don't hear it.
Gotta start making some different decisions.
Yeah.
I remember when making $100K meant you basically succeeded at life and were living high. Every single millennial remembers this conversation as a teenager. The idea of $100,000 meant you made it. But you know why it's nostalgic? Because it was attainable. You could be a blue collar worker, work overtime, make 120,000. You could go to college and make 100,000 just like now. Think about what you'd have to do to make 100,000. But when you reached it, you had it all. Your housing was only $400 or $500 a month. Your car payment was $150. Your groceries were $300 a month. We grew up as millennials in our 20s. This was it. And now this 300,000 mark is what I feel this same feeling's like. It's just not as attainable. You can't overtime your way into 300K. 300K today is doctor, lawyer, top exec, salesperson, entrepreneur. It's a smaller niche of individuals. And that's why, unfortunately, Gen Z doesn't know what this feeling is. And you know why millennials are a little like, about it? We have been working for 20 years. And for you millennials who did reach that 100K mark and you realize that you finally made it, but yet you're still paycheck to paycheck, is kind of a letdown. So we've gone through like a roller coaster with this 100K, but I do remember how attainable that felt. I'm
gonna be real. If I made 100K, a lot of my problems, like legit, all my problems would be gone.
Exactly, and I wouldn't change anything.
Nope.
Except getting a house. After that, there's just nothing else.
But that truly is. I really do like he's speaking some real truth to me. The issue is the higher the cost, it's not as attainable anymore.
Yeah.
Because making 300,000 was bougie.
That's influencer money now, like top influencers.
That is like years and years of, it's like you are basically almost you're a rich man now.
Yeah.
But now it's like, oh yeah, you're average. That's crazy.
That's insane. Like you gotta be making like over $1 million to be seen as like really wealthy.
Yeah, because like now it's like, oh yeah, because yeah, you still got money, but you ain't got money. You know what I mean?
That's actually insane. But it's crazy how inflation ruins everything because they ruin the pay. And then the housing market, that was quick because I know I was looking at houses on Zillow back in like 2018 and all of the houses were like 100K or less. And now they're like 400K. Like, what is going on?
Remember when 100K was way too much?
Yeah, I was looking at it like, what the heck? And now it's like, what happened?
Now I'm just wishing I should get a house for 100K. I get be dead buying it, not going.
It's actually ridiculous. I'll take it though.
Yeah, so at the end of the day, it's legit just we're not making as much money as we used to, and things are going up, and our pay's not going up, so it's getting worse and worse, and it looks like it's impossible at this point.
Yeah, it does. And even though I'm pretty sure I'm supposed to be like Gen Z,
We are.
I feel millennials because we're like right there.
Yeah, we're early Gen Z. We're both 99, so
Oh yeah.
yeah, we grew up with everything they had.
Yeah, so I remember the whole like you gotta make 100K and all that.
Yeah, I legit thought that was so hard. Like, oh, I gotta go with the 4 years college. I gotta get a PhD. Blah 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 blah.
Not that hard.
It's not that hard. It was not
anymore.
that hard. But now you can get it, and you're screwed.
See, I would not be screwed though with 100K because everything that I do with my money is strategic, and I look over it like 5,000 times before I do any of that. So
Yeah. This is why college was not as bad a choice before, because you can go to college and make 100K. Your college tuition wasn't as much,
yeah.
and you still had 100K money back then was fine. But now it's nothing.
Now with people saying that tuition is like 90K a year, it's just things are drastically changing, and it's kind of looking like college might not even be worth it for most people anymore.
Because now you get into a high-paying college, like straight out of college job, it's like you're screwed with so much debt.
Yeah, it sucks.
That's all I gotta say.
He is not wrong. Where I live, 100K after taxes is 75K. An average one-bedroom apartment is $2,700 per month in my area. So yeah, you're kind of broke even on 100K per year. That's not true. I'm gonna do the math. Let's assume you live in Los Angeles making 100K per year without
good.
kids, you don't have a wife, and this is before taxes. So we're gonna assume that your net is like between 72 to 75K a year. You can get a pretty nice, good one-bedroom apartment for around $2,700 in a really decent neighborhood like West Hollywood. Or let's say you don't want to live in central LA. Maybe you want to live in the valley. You can also get a nice place for $2,700 in like Burbank or North Hollywood. I'm also going to assume that you're smart with your car payment and you're driving a decent car. So let's say $600 per month for your car payment and maybe around $250 for your car insurance. For your health insurance, let's just say your company doesn't even cover anything for you in your health insurance and you're using like a gold plan with like Blue Shield California or Kaiser or some shit. It's going to be max $350 per month. For your groceries, $200 per week is very doable, even though you go to let's say you go to the gym and you eat all this healthy ass shit. $800 a month, that's perfect for you. I forgot about utilities. So utilities will go maybe around $300, give or take. $300 a month. Now we have your monthly subscriptions. Maybe you go to the gym, your I don't know, your HBO, your Netflix, your Paramount, all that shit, let's say around $150. Oh shit, I forgot about like Wi-Fi and like your phone bill. So like your phone bill, let's say you use AT&T or some shit. I don't know. Let's say you use T-Mobile. T-Mobile is like what, $60, and then Wi-Fi like $80. Let's even say your Wi-Fi is $90, right? And then we're gonna give ourselves an extra $700 for, you know, your little spending here and there, to go on dates, to go out to the bar, whatever, buy a little bit of clothes here and there. $700 max. you are now at $6,000 a month. And that's how much? That's like $72,000. Yeah, you might not be able to save money, but I don't think you're gonna be considered broke. And then I remember I maxed out, I went high on everything, guys. Like, you could have lived in a different state. I'm just saying for Los Angeles, so I don't think you're broke.
I'm gonna be real. I kind of agree with him here. It's legit when he said like, "Oh yeah, my rent is $2,700 a month." I'm like, "Oh, bro, just move."
Yeah.
I know that LA prices for rent is crazy, but I'm pretty sure you're paying too much right now.
Because I refuse to pay anything over like 1,000, maybe like 800.
Yeah.
And that's already pushing it.
Yeah, like I know people there. I know there's like people. I've seen people talk about. There's places out there that rent is only 2,000. Drop down 700, dog.
It's getting ridiculous, but at this point, you're never gonna find anything under 2,000. So,
Especially in LA.
yeah, it's ridiculous. But someone said plus $250 for gas. Is that per? I guess that's per month. Dang, what car are you driving? $300 for student loans?
Well, LA gas prices are crazy.
Oh yeah, they are.
Like $4, right?
Yeah.
Well, that's what happens when you live in the city.
That'd be me.
You gotta move out of the city. You gotta move to a nearby town or suburb or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then $200 for a credit card. And then you're negative 50.
I feel like you have a credit card problem.
Yeah, that right there. Why is it $200 for the credit card?
A month?
Yeah.
A month. Stop putting money on that credit card, dog.
Yeah, if you already got $300 worth of student loan payment, so that means student loan is maybe near six figures. I don't know, maybe.
Yeah. Also, I can say this: most minimum payments on credit cards are legit in like the 40s to 50s.
Yeah, mine was actually like 20 or like 25.
It really depends on how much. So this man must have all exactly where. How much money you have on your credit card, dog?
Oh my gosh. Yeah, very abnormal.
Yeah.
But
Jeez Louise, stop using that credit card.
yeah, please.
Throw it away, burn it.
This is why y'all are in this problem.
You got shredded credit card.
Yeah, just stop the usage.
I make $100,000 a year. Am I poor to you?
Yes, technically, yes. 100K is the new broke. A lot of people making six figures are still living paycheck to paycheck. This is no longer the early 2000s. Life is changing. Inflation is at an all-time high. The cost of homes, the cost of goods are so much higher. Making six figures 10 years ago was impressive, but it's no longer impressive today. I live in Miami. You can't get an apartment for less than $5,000, $6,000 here. How the fuck you only gonna make six figures?
Can someone please grab this guy's microphone and just take his camera too? If you're broke and you make 100K a year, you're just shitty with money. If you live in a major city like New York, LA, Miami, it might not be sufficient based on your lifestyle, but ain't no way you're broke, bro. You might not be as comfortable as you want, but what is this guy talking about? The problem is people love to spend above their means. You know, buying an expensive car, gotta pay heavy ass insurance, living in a very expensive high-rise apartment. If you do that, then that's on you.
Canadian.
There is no freaking way all the apartments in Miami are like 5K, 6K. That's just freaking ridiculous. The average person in the United States makes 50K a year. Are you trying to say the average person in the US is broke? If you're single and you don't have that many responsibilities and you make 100K a year, that's not bad. If you got a family, you know, wife and kids, that's a whole different story. At that point, you're better off earning more money, but damn, these influencers, they're all out of touch.
I don't know how I thought that man was Canadian.
I don't know, maybe he is.
African Canadian, probably.
Maybe.
Anyway.
Oh yeah, a lot of Africans are moving to Canada because of, like, free healthcare and all that.
Yeah, I wanted to. Yeah. Anyway, let's see this comment. The dude selling courses, of course, he was going to say that you're broke for making $100,000 a year. Also, look at how this guy's dressed. Do you think this guy makes good financial assistance?
Buy my course so I can teach you how to not be broke on 100K a year.
Here's a question I have: how many like influencer money dudes do can not afford the top buttons?
I guess not. It's just like
always out. It's always out. So it's like, oh, you know.
See, he's trying to sell the course, so I'm pretty sure he's trying to be sexy so he can get the course sales. You know.
You know the most people who look at money influence content is dudes, right? He could be in the LGBT.
Oh, he might be.
It's Miami. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say.
No.
Anyway, I'm just saying, like, you can just tell he's just trying to sell you something. But making 100,000 in Miami is still good money. Just stop going to the biggest high rise next to the ocean front and go down towards maybe the boonies a little bit, not too much. You don't want to get robbed. And just live there. You know, you don't have to do much. Don't go partying. Stop going to all these Miami strippers. I hear a lot of strippers go down to Miami to make a lot of money. And it works each time.
Oh, snap. Miami. Here I come, I guess.
Huh?
No.
But, like, it's just like, ugh. It's ugh. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, it's just like... Also, just stop listening to the people online that are trying to sell you courses, because that right there also is your first mistake of why you're broke. Because people are trying to sell you things that you can find out for free online.
For real. I'll say this, the most thing, like, course thing that you should be doing is following someone on Discord at best.
Yeah.
At best. Something free.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be giving them money.
Because most of them, like, pretty much all of them are scams. And they're just trying to get money out of you. Because they know that you're broke and desperate.
Yep.
And they know that you will do anything to just, like, not have to worry about bills and money and all that.
Yeah, also, a lot of them don't even live in the way they lifestyle live. It's all rented.
Yeah.
You know, they have fake sets for planes.
They do. They have fake sets for everything. That chain right there probably isn't even real.
That chain looks like something I can really get from, like, Fat Below, for I'm not gonna lie.
Honestly, he looks like a knockoff, like, Trey Songz.
I know it. I was thinking that the entire time. I like how his neck blends in like directly with the shape of his head.
That is so weird.
You see it, right? Like, it's not smaller. It's legit this straight all the way up.
Yeah.
Anyway.
How should you spend your money if you're making $100,000 per year? Let's chop it up. Starting point, $100K. Let's consider after taxes, we have $75,000. We're going to put 20% towards our financial goals. This will be something like an emergency fund, 401k, IRA. That's going to be $15,000 for the year, or $1,250 per month. For our housing, let's consider 30% of our net income. That's $22,500 for the year, or $1,875 for the month. Utilities, $400 per month. Insurance, $600 per month. Transportation, $500 per month. That's going to leave us with $1,542 for food, clothes, entertainment, etc. Now, this is just an example. You can tweak things around however you want. If you don't want to put 20% for your financial goals, then you may have some in other categories. Or if you want to save more than 20%, you may have less. But this is a pretty standard budget for a $100,000 salary.
I like to call this comment right here. 100K is like living paycheck to paycheck with a 2-bed house. What's that supposed to mean?
What?
What's that supposed to mean? Are you saying you're living paycheck to paycheck with a 2-bedroom house? Well, you have a 2-bedroom house.
Bruh. Are they trying to say like $1,800 a month is cheap?
That's legit.
What? Okay, I don't know.
That's legit. Once again, it's legit where you're living at. Because 18,000 down here is legit one of the, not too much luxury, but kind of like middle class apartments down the street.
Yeah.
So legit, it's not that bad.
Yeah, it's not.
I'd be living like a king down here, but not really. I'd be living like a peasant because I won't be spending that money.
No, it couldn't be me. But this right here, this is how you budget. And especially when you're making more money, then that means that more taxes are going to come out. So people are being blindsided by looking at their first paycheck after making 6 figures. And then they're like, this is way less than I thought.
Yeah.
That's because you get taxed more.
Exactly. Also, the tax return, that exists. Does that exist for rich people?
Yes.
It's just for everybody. Tax return. It's like you're going to make some of that money back anyway. So stop being a baby. Pay your taxes.
And even then, you have so much money to work with.
Exactly.
Just learn to budget it and you won't be living paycheck to paycheck.
And that's why I will never hear a rich person complain about taxes. If they do, I'm not listening. You have enough money, you'll live.
Yeah.
You're gonna get it back. Come on, dog.
Please. Just do better with the money.
For real.
You rich. Come on.
$100,000 is honestly not even a lot of money. If you're setting $100,000 as one of your initial stepping stones, then awesome. Kudos to you, and I hope you get there because obviously it's an amazing feeling. But that as a long-term goal is honestly a very small number. Because if you think about it, you try buying a house or anything substantial with that kind of money, it's going to be gone. On top of that, don't hate me for saying this, but it's honestly not that hard to make $100,000. Because if you think about it, say the average wage is about, I don't know, $50,000, you literally just need to double it. Then you'll have $100,000 in a year. Another reason that number doesn't excite me as much is because you can literally just hustle your way to $100,000. Take on more work, burn yourself out. I've done it before and it's gotten me there. But to aim for anything above $100,000, 7 figures and more, you really need to learn how to scale and put systems in place to help with automations so that it frees up more time, whether you use that extra time on lifestyle freedom or whether you use that time on building your business further. You need that extra time to be able to focus on what it is you can implement in your business. The part where I think so many of us get it wrong, and I did this exact step, is that we lean first into hustling. That's what we know. We come from the lower and middle class. Even though I personally believed in the concept of working smarter and not harder, I actually didn't know how to take those steps in working smarter and not harder. Everything I have done to make sure my business is scalable at this point, if I had just done it from the beginning, honestly, I would be years ahead. But of course, I did what I was used to, and I decided to trade even more time for dollars, which is just a losing battle because once you run out of time, you can't make any more money. Because you know how they say the wealthy love their passive income because it comes without them needing to invest extra time? Well, the little bit of missing information between there, getting from the lower middle class to the wealthy, is that you can't become a accredited investor until you have a certain substantial amount of dollars already available to you. So in order to do so, you need to make sure that you're figuring out a scalable system and your business has a scalable format. Otherwise, we're never getting to that passive investor stage. If you want to know what I did to get to that position, I have got a workbook and a checklist which will go through the exact steps that I took.
Hope you don't have to pay for it. But
I knew it was coming. I heard her say it. I seen her say her say automation.
yeah.
I knew it was coming.
See, I've been hearing about people saying that they're working like multiple remote jobs. So like they might work one that's 50K and then the other that's 50K at the same time. And then there you go, it's 100K. And then I read like people working like 3 jobs and they're making like way over 100K. Use your time wisely, I guess.
See, right there, that point, yeah, you got 100K, but you're not doing anything now. You can spend that money or save that money on because you got no time.
Exactly. That's why it sucks.
So are you really rich at that point? Because here's the thing about rich people. They have time to do whatever they need to do or want. You have no time to do it. You're broke in time now.
Because that's not breaking the system. You just taking on more work, slaving away some more, and just making it really hard on yourself. You won't have a life. Sucks.
For real. So I kind of wish that I never quit that grocery job and would have invested every paycheck I got in something.
Oh, yeah.
But
Work to invest, work for something.
Yeah.
But yeah, it just sucks that you have to constantly trade so much time for money because really time is money.
Time is legit money.
Yeah.
And you don't get it back. You don't get tax returns on time.
Yeah.
So that sucks.
Yeah, sucks.
I got so many bills, bitch, and so much shit.
Who's the R&B singer who had blonde hair? He sung the thong song.
I have no idea. Yeah, see, that sums it up. I don't really have much to say.
All I'm gonna say is look at that high-rise background. I don't want to hear you talk about what do you think about 100K.
No, because that right there, is that like a penthouse?
I don't think it's a penthouse, but it's too high up to be cheap.
So pretty much realizing 100K salary isn't enough anymore to do everything you dreamed you could do with it in 2010.
That is really true. That is very true.
I mean, yeah, but for me, what?
Oh, go ahead.
For me, nothing really changed because all I want to do with my 100K salary is buy a house and invest, and that's it.
Yeah, me too. Honestly, all I really wanted is just to be able to afford the games I want to play and maybe have a house and a car. That's it. That's all I've ever wanted to do with having money. That to me, that is successful. Just to be able to do that without like, oh man, I gotta wait for it to go on sale.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I'm gonna say to most people, yeah, 100K was basically almost like was not rich. It was like middle upper class.
Yeah.
And you could do a lot more back then. But
people just think that they can buy all of these like 5 fancy cars with it. And like, yeah, you won't be able to do that. But do you need to do that? No.
That's why all of you broke.
There's no reason to care about status or what people think. The only thing that you need to be concerned about is your well-being and your stability. Yeah. And if you've got that, then you're good. You should always try to make more money, but like this right here is no matter how much money you make, you really just shouldn't be trying to put yourself in a bad spot just to look rich.
Yeah, I'm gonna say like acting rich is the worst part about it. About people having $100,000, that's why they're broke, because they're acting rich. You're not. You've still been middle class. You've always been middle class. Middle class is shrinking.
Yeah, just be rich in private. That's it.
For real.
I think that there are 2 reasons that people that used to be considered high earners are struggling right now. The first is obviously inflation, because when I was a kid, I remember 6 figures meant you were rolling in it. And the second is that we do such an awful job of educating people on financial literacy. So no matter how much money you throw at a person, if they don't have good financial habits, they're not going to keep any of that money. And really, without any kind of financial education, I think lifestyle creep is not an if, it is a when. I think
yeah.
It's crazy because we don't make nowhere near that much. And we're still living fine.
Exactly. It's just all in mentality and what you're doing with your money.
So, like, if they're living paycheck to paycheck, we should be homeless.
Yeah. Because that just shows that you just don't know what you're doing with your money, because I have had $0 in my bank account just doing DoorDash, only paying rent and just the minimal bills, and I was fine.
Yep.
That sucks, but still.
Yep.
I'm here.
And my darn old retail job was not paying enough. At best, she could get $400 out of me, $200 out of me. Yeah. Barely anything. So
even after that, it was just DoorDash.
Exactly. After that, it was just DoorDash, and we're still doing fine. Like, so the real question is, they don't have no savings. They're going through money too fast. You gotta.
Saving is most important.
For real. I'm not trying to like, oh, it's their fault. It's their fault. Yeah, because things have changed. But the thing is, if things change, you gotta change with it.
Yeah.
So things cost too much. You gotta go lower. Move to the boonies. You know.
Like, even when you're rich, you want to invest that money to earn passive income later on, because you're in such a good spot that you have the ability to invest. So I feel like even if you're super rich, you shouldn't be buying like all these new cars, because cars are not investments because they depreciate. Though there are a few that appreciate and they could be good investments, but that's like very rare.
Yeah. Only thing I'm going to keep saying is people are saying it's the city. So all I gotta say.
100K is the new 50K, unfortunately. It is.
Yep. And I still could live off of that.
Yeah, and especially if you have like multiple people living with you, or if you're married, or like each of you could make like 50K and then you be at 100K. 100K is not like unattainable like they used to make it seem anymore. So
yeah. Well, here's the thing why it was unattainable, because it was not needed.
Mm-hmm.
Back then, it was not needed.
Yeah.
That's all I gotta say.
Need it now.
No, this is such an interesting take, and I feel the same way too. A lot of times when I think about how much money I make, it should feel a lot more than what it feels like. But a lot of times when people make a lot of money, they also spend a lot of money too. So you might have someone who even makes $250,000, but they have a house payment, that a big luxurious house. They drive a BMW or Mercedes Benz or Porsche or a Tesla, which costs a lot of money. Do a lot of things to keep up with the amount of money that they make, because that is supposed to, or what we've been told a lot of times, is that it's supposed to look a certain way. So there's no way that I make six figures, but I drive, well now, because I'm changing my mindset, I drive a $3,000 car that I got off of Facebook Marketplace, which is with the salvage title. Yeah. You know, those two don't necessarily go together, but they can. If you want them to, you just have to make lifestyle changes. And that's what I'm in the process of doing. That's what my TikTok and my Instagram, that's what I share about these days, because I do want to be financially literate. I do want to be financially free. And I do want to pass good habits down to my children. You know?
Same.
It's really, once again, I'm not going to be balling out. The closest ball out I'm going to have when I get 100,000 is maybe a really good high-end gaming console. I won't have to upgrade for the next 20 years.
The first thing that I'm doing is just being more stable.
Yeah.
I will buy a house in cash, own it outright, and it's going to be a very humble house. And then just invest the rest so that you can have passive income later on.
For real, my ball out is no debt, and
Yeah.
I have 100,000 on me. So
Yeah, you need to make lifestyle changes and don't pass these bad habits onto your kids, because that is why so many people are financially uneducated and are struggling right now.
yeah, think about it. Yeah, a Facebook Marketplace thing in a house. That's it. That's it. That's all you need.
Yeah, because I feel like even though people are like out here spending left and right things they don't need, I feel like it's not mainly their fault. It's just what they've been taught, and they don't know how to make changes.
No, it took me it took me the hard way.
Yeah,
But at the end of the day, that's what happens.
and now they're stuck in their bad decisions.
Yep. Oh well.
Don't let that be you.
I make $100K a year. How come life is still so hard? $100,000 isn't the dream salary it once was for millennials, as they feel the middle class squeeze. I thought I'd have a huge pile of money in my checking account. Let me preface this by saying this is my personal opinion. I've seen a lot of articles of people saying $100,000 isn't enough money anymore, and that people who are making $100,000 feel like they're still struggling. We all know that inflation has not caught up with salaries for years, and that's why I'm always advocating telling people to ask for more and push companies beyond what they say they can do salary-wise. Nonetheless, it doesn't matter how much money you make. If you don't know how to budget your money, you're always going to feel like you're in this cycle of struggle. There are people who I know that make $250, $300, $400, $500K, and they still feel like they're not making enough money because they're living outside what they actually can afford. And affordability is this conversation lately where I feel people get offended when you say that is not something that is affordable at this time to them, because they take it as an insult of being perceived as like poor. And look, I've even made videos that say your money is your money. I'm not worried about your money. Don't be worried about my money. But in conversations like this, if you're talking to someone who makes $100,000 a year and they say that they feel like they're struggling, and in the same breath, they say, I also have a $1,000 Mercedes or a Tesla or a BMW car note, and you say, hey, maybe your car note isn't something that you actually can afford. Why don't you get a car that's less expensive? They take that as offense. But I think more conversations about affordability and budgeting do need to occur so that people understand, look, you need to learn how to budget what you have and work with what you have instead of trying to work with what you want before you have it. Yep. My very first job out of college, I was making $60,000 a year. That was my base salary. I also had a job at a weekend at a hospital, but I normally just saved that money. After taxes, I probably made like $30K a year. I was still able to pay my student loans, pay my insurance, pay my phone, pay my bills, pay for my car note, which was only like $220 at the time. I also was able to pay my rent, which was $500 for my room in a house with 6 other people. Would I have loved to live on my own? Absolutely. But I couldn't afford privacy at that time. Does it suck that I wasn't able to afford that privacy? Absolutely. But at the end of the day, that was my reality, and I worked with that reality. This is another problem that we have, where nearly 40% of Americans overspend to impress somebody else. And that occurs among Gen Z and millennials, which is what I feel like contributes to this constant conversation of people feeling like $100,000 isn't enough money for one individual. When in reality, there's only 18% of single individuals that make $100,000 or more. And among those people, there's a high percentage that feel they're living paycheck to paycheck. And why? For the most part, obviously there's, exceptions. For the most part, it's a budgeting issue.
And I completely 100% agree with her.
Yeah.
And especially everyone in these comments. 100,000 is good money. I'd be living comfortably because I'm not living crazy to begin with.
Because some of y'all feel that you're too good to live below your means, and there's nothing wrong with living below your means. That statistic, I'm pretty sure that was like over half of the Gen Zers are spending just to impress others.
I'm not going to spend to impress others. I'm spending to make myself entertained.
I don't care how poor I look. I am taking care of my finances. What you do with your Mercedes and your 100K debt, like, I'm gonna be over here living life good rather than waking up with stress every day wondering how I'm gonna pay this debt.
No, for real, because like here's the thing. Here's the thing, right? Like, for me, being successful is being able to get groceries and not worry about it impacting my finances.
Yeah, and even then, it's reasonable groceries with coupons.
Yep.
Not just spending on everything I see just to justify it. Well, I have to eat to survive, and this is food, but do you need that particular food that is like overpriced? No.
No, these three like groceries too high. Anyway, my darn old lobster tail's ready. No.
You get like one lobster tail a year.
True, for real, I wouldn't even give it. I lost one lobster tail every 2 years.
Yeah. I don't even like lobster like that, so I don't have expensive taste.
I don't like lobster.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't want lobster. You can take that lobster, you can throw it in the trash. Give me like a taco or something.
See, someone in my position that just does not have the taste, like any type of expensive taste for anything, then you don't know what to do with your money. And when you don't know what to do with your extra money, then that's when you need to invest and save.
Exactly. I don't like seafood.
Yeah.
I hate crab. I hate shrimp. I hate everything.
Me too.
But truly, like, that's legit what successful is to me. That's what 100,000 would be for me. A lot of it would be put aside. It would be, I need to get food.
Mm-hmm.
Let me go out and grab something that is cheap and come back. I don't have to worry like, now I'm trying to make extra money to put it into like a rent or something else or another bill. Nope, I can grab food. I can still pay my bills. Sweet.
Exactly. And there's nothing wrong with not being able to afford everything. Nobody in this world can afford everything here. So
for real. Also, since I gotta say this because my family thinks I'm starving or something, I'm not saying I can't afford food. It's that it's not gonna make a dent on my savings.
Yeah, because you're just not gonna be spending all of that, and then use the coupons. They're there. Go where the sales are. Look on what days the sales are going to be, what stores, and go there.
For real. Sorry, that was a real personal thing I had to go into.
Next video.
For the people that are confused how households making 100K or more are saying they're paycheck to paycheck while you're making significantly less and also paycheck to paycheck, I have an answer for you, and it's that those higher income families are not living paycheck to paycheck. And this, of course, only really applies if that family was living within their means to begin with. But as a six-figure household, we're not paycheck to paycheck in the sense that a family of a lower income is paycheck to paycheck. If we had to cut back on our spending and our more fun expenses, yes. Are we putting as much to savings as we used to? No, but that does not mean that we're paycheck to paycheck. Even now, we have more places in our budget that we could cut back if we needed to because we have the extra money for fun things. Whereas a lower income family is living paycheck to paycheck just on necessities. Higher income families might in their eyes be living paycheck to paycheck, but they're living paycheck to paycheck on necessities and their
fun things. Point being, if you still have money to go do fun things or to put money to your savings, you, in my eyes at least, are not living paycheck to paycheck. And I feel like it does a disservice to lower income families to act like you are.
And truly, I'll say it like this: it is privilege. It's a privileged group not being as privileged, and they're shocked that they're not as privileged, and they're saying, "Oh, this must be what it is to be poor." No,
Exactly.
it's not.
It's really not, because you have something to work with. You see, this person, 90K, living paycheck to paycheck, no savings. But yeah, I mean, like, I get it, because like this person is saying, like, there's different factors, and it's irresponsible and dismissive to make a blanket statement. I get that there's different circumstances and all of that, but there's always something that you can cut out. Unless you are in like one of those unique situations where like you're going through divorce and then you have to pay like all those lawyer fees because they will eat money out of you. Yeah. Maybe you probably are living paycheck to paycheck, but
Yeah.
most of y'all, it's decisions.
Yeah, they like, oh, I can't go to the club. My friends, this must be playing living paycheck to paycheck. Is no, I can't just go willingly and grab another lobster tail. No, I'm not trying to be mean. I'm not trying to say that's what y'all are, but that's what a lot of y'all sound like.
Mm-hmm.
And that's sad because there's people out here who can't. They have to steal eggs from Dollar General.
Yeah,
that's how bad it's getting for people who are actually living paycheck to paycheck.
Exactly.
So before you say you're living paycheck to paycheck, think about it. If you can drop some expenses and you be a little bit better, you're not living paycheck to paycheck.
Yeah, just take a look over your budget and you might be surprised that there actually are a lot of things that you can cut out.
Yeah.
You can be living paycheck to paycheck, feeling broke and struggling at any income level. Trust me, I know. When I was making $30,000 a year, I was broke. I started making $50,000 a year. I was also broke. At this point in my mind, I'm still thinking the income is the problem. So I continue to raise the income. Now I'm up to $80,000. Guess what? Still broke. And it wasn't until I had made $100,000 for a couple years in a row that I realized it was no longer an income problem, it was a me problem. So after the first couple years of being broke, making $100,000, I realized that I needed to make some changes because it wasn't the income that was the problem. You could call it lifestyle inflation, but the more money we make, the more money we spend. And the spending is the problem. That's what keeps us broke at any of these income levels. You'll hear about celebrities, pro athletes, people who win the lottery and they manage to end up broke because they're not managing their money. They're not managing their spending. So yes, increasing your income does help because then you're able to pay down debts a little easier and things like that. But spending is the ultimate problem if you're continuing in that cycle of being broke.
Yeah, it's not the income, it's the spending.
Yeah. I could say this. I've been yapping a lot. I really always wondered, like, why is these lottery winners always going so broke? They're pulling an empty hammer. They're giving money left and right. They're spending on everything. You know, T-Pain went broke, so broke, he had to ask his friends for money to feed his kids.
Wow.
Because it's the investments they're not really checking on. It's the spending the money. It's all that. Like, here's the thing. If you're going to make more money and you want to, oh, finally, I'm not in this, I want to live differently. Just take the things that make you the most uncomfortable. And just get rid of those. Don't do everything. Just one, like the top 3 that make you the most uncomfortable. And then you can do that differently. Everything else, stay saving.
Exactly. As soon as you win the lottery, that money should go right into an investment account. Like, then you can't give anything to anybody because people are going to take advantage. If you're going to be like, it's already required that you are on like the news or it's reported that you won.
Yep.
Which is crazy.
Yeah, a lot of people have died that way.
Yeah, and then like you have family and friends, and then everybody in the neighborhood they're gonna try to take advantage. And yeah, you gotta like really plan out what you're gonna do with that money and put it away so people cannot take it, and you won't be tempted to give it all away.
Yeah.
And see, this person has $65K with only $35,000 left on the mortgage and no credit card debt. That's good.
That's legit. What it is that people are most likely living below their own means, but still living in a way that is not just like death.
Yeah.
People act like you can't spend as much money. You're dead. You died. No, it's called just trial and error, dog.
It's not the end of the world. Some people have grown up in like a little bit more luxury and never really had to work like that, so they don't know much about money, but it's time to learn.
For real.
A lot of millennials are realizing this. When you arrive at six figures, it's not what we thought of back in the 90s, early 2000s growing up. 100K was it. 100K meant something in our bones and our soul. I remember talking to the guidance counselor, talking to friends. We're gonna make six figures one day. We're gonna have it all. We're gonna do it. And then you arrive at six figures in 2023. And if you live in the city, you realize it is just enough to get by. And when you think about having kids, this is what me and my wife are thinking about. We're 35 and 36 years old. So if we want to have kids, we got to get after this pretty soon. But she has a great job. I have a great job. We both work 60 hours a week with our side hustles included. And I make six figures. But if my wife were to quit her job and we had a kid and stayed home, I wouldn't be able to afford the kid, our life, and the house. So we're having to make these decisions. But then we think, well, if my wife keeps working, takes a little time off, we'll plan for that. But then if we're going to have daycare, I'm seeing some of the daycare prices I would have never imagined, let alone thinking of the crib and the monitor and all this kind of stuff. But I think a lot of millennials are probably having the same conversation me and my wife are having, where it's kind of sad to have to decide if we're on a roll. We're doing great for our savings, investing, and career. We want to bring a kid along, but it's like, we're like, are we going to be able to do it all? A lot of millennials.
And see, that's just the video we saw earlier. And see, that's the thing right there. Now that's an actual issue. If you make 100,000, your life is going to change completely because of the finances and other things going in life. Now that will actually change it. Now that will be, you're going kind of broke after making 100K.
Yeah, because daycare prices are like really expensive. They're like thousands of dollars a month for some of these.
Yep.
And it's actually ridiculous. But even with like baby stuff, I hear that there are things that you can cut out there too, because like a lot of the baby furniture that you don't actually really need all of that. But yeah, and then family size, if you are thinking about having like 9 kids with 100K salary, it's probably not going to go very far. But it all depends on like family size and all of that. But plan these kids and all of that, because if you don't want to be struggling, don't have that many kids.
You can't have these kids on a whim, dog. You gotta plan for these kids, because kids are expensive themselves.
They are.
And this is like actually like life changes. This is not, he's not saying that he's paycheck or broke. He's saying that my life will change. And now that's what you're saying.
Exactly.
That's what we need to hear. Your life is changing.
Mm-hmm.
So you gotta adjust to that.
Yeah, and go to BJ's.
Go to BJ's. Just go to any discount store. You can buy baby stuff for cheaper.
Yeah, because if you have a large family, you can go to BJ's and Sam's Club, Costco, all of that, and then buy so much stuff in bulk, and then it will last you months.
Yep.
So.
Yep. Club stores will always save you so much money.
Yeah, they have so many deals and coupons.
I hate how people nowadays think that if they make 100K a year, they are rich. That is so far from the truth. 100K a year is nothing. Like, that is literally broke money. You gotta be making at least, I would say, 7 figures a year to be considered anywhere near rich, because that is going to get you somewhat closer to the life you want. It's still not a lot of money, but it will unlock things that you didn't have before. But 100K, I mean, 100K is not getting you anything. So you guys gotta get that out of your head.
Can you spot the problem in this video? Even if it's leased. These leased cars are so expensive, and you're stuck with the car payment like the rest of your life until you actually buy a car.
Look me into my really red, really bad-sided eyes when I say this. If you call 100K broke money, you might have an intelligence issue. I'm not trying to say you're dumb, but I'm not saying you're thinking.
Buy my course, Out of Touch with Reality.
For real. This was like that one streamer saying that he can make, what was it, like 2,000 a day by waiting on a mailman.
Like how?
Who are you delivering to? You delivering in war zones?
You delivering for USPS, UPS, FedEx, and all that at the same time?
Are you Santa Claus?
Must be. Got Rudolph helping you out or something.
For real, bro. I wish I would be living man so fast. I would never be home. But
It's ridiculous.
But this is the most by my course style talking, and this is the talk that got people. See, this is why people think that the economy is super screwed. We're all dumb and all doomed. Yeah, it's getting bad. We're not super worse. It's this type of thought that it's really like, it's poisoning everyone's minds.
It really is. Like, please.
Oh my gosh, I had to take off my glasses for that because I cannot. I gotta make sure I wasn't seeing stuff. Maybe during my glasses. No, he's legit just saying this.
We need to get more in touch with what's really going on. Take accountability for what your sources, what is the word? What you're contributing, like what your contribution is to the issue.
Yeah. What's this contribution? Rage bait. It has to be rage bait. It has to be rage bait. All I'm gonna say.
Must be.
What is an adult problem that nobody prepared you for?
That $100 is really a lot of money. $100 is really like $1. $1,000 is really like $10. $10,000 is really like $100. And if you somehow manage to save or make $100,000, or you like barely have money somehow, I don't get it.
Okay, I get what she's trying to say here. $100 is not $1. It is in bill speak sometimes.
Yeah.
But $100 is $100.
Yeah, like I get what she's saying.
Yeah.
The bills, like as soon as you get $100, it's like not even enough for one bill, and then it gets wiped out completely.
Yeah, that makes sense. If it's not bills, $100 is $100.
Yeah.
At best, $100 is like $50.
That's why I cancel the subscriptions, pay off the debt, and then lower like all the whatever you get, the add-ons and whatever's in the package that you get for some of these things.
Yep.
Because you want to make your monthly bills as low as possible so you can save more money.
Yeah.
You need that money in emergency, and you need to invest the rest.
Yeah.
And you just don't want to be stuck like looking at vanishing paychecks constantly, because it's not fun when you just got paid, but then the next day it's wiped out by all the bills.
For real. I'll say this because growing up as a kid, basically a gaming kid, $100 didn't go far. It's gone way less now.
Yeah.
I'll say that very much. I used to be able to get 2 games for like $120 if they're both new. Maybe if I use one $100, I can get like 3. And now it feels like I can't get nothing.
Yeah.
So I will say money has gone down, but I'm not going to say 100K is broke.
It's not.
That makes no sense to me.
And even if you're struggling with the 100K, it's probably like a unique circumstance, like crazy large family, and then maybe a lawsuit.
Oh, that's a woman thing, a lawsuit. So I don't know about that.
It's stuff like that, but you can't say just because that's what you're going through that it's broke money, because there's millionaires and billionaires, probably trillionaires out here that are like broke because of bad investments, and then they have like all of these businesses and they have to pay all these bills, but that does not mean that the money they're making is broke money.
For real, like look at President Donald Trump, because he's gonna be president again. When he was doing his campaign, he cannot pay any of the debts back that he has. That's why he keep doing those rallies outside.
Yeah.
And then he got the what's that place in New York? He got that place in New York. That was like one of the only ones he had inside that entire run.
Yeah.
For this year. So all I'm gonna say is like it's a spending problem most of the time. Yeah, there's a lot of not benefactors. Like what's the thing called?
Benefit?
Not benefits. There's a lot of things involved. I'm gonna say that there's a lot of things you gotta calculate. But at the end of the day, don't call 100,000 broke. I'm gonna say that now.
Yeah, because it's not.
It's insulting. It's insulting. That shows your privilege.
Yeah.
That's all I gotta say.
Problems.
That's all I gotta say.
Well, thank you guys for watching.
Sorry for a long video today. Like, comment, and subscribe.
And share the video, and please get us to 1,000 subscribers.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna go cook food, and you guys are gonna get out my house. Leave. Bye, guys.
Bye.